Talked about T1 are still true?
Sure, but the Vici Gaming also has no cooldowns. They can keep fighting all the time. There's Mars Arena and Omni Knight's ulti, that's it.
I didn't say T1 would play Tempo, I said Vici would.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Apologies. Right. As we're getting into game number 1, we're going to get the coach interview that we usually do with Frankie, as she is standing by with T1's coach, Mark.
What a hunk!
Помогите, помогите, помогите.
Oxygen-rich atmosphere, giant testicle monsters. We'll be fine.
Thank you very much, Frankie. Sunshine with Cinder in here. Vici versus T1, best of 3, Cinderman. Are you ready to see Omni Knight?
Yes.
It's been about 2 months since he's been nerfed, and everybody forgot he existed until he was first to picked.
Yeah, so...
Tell me why.
Yeah, so what's interesting about this is that, you know, there was some speculation about, okay, what's going to happen to Omni Knight with the nerf that came in. Obviously, the biggest nerf for Omni Knight was the fact that Heavenly Grace can be dispelled. Used to be an insanely powerful ability. It is still a hard dispel. It still gives all the bonuses from before, but now you can itemize against it. You see for T1 in this game, they have Enchant, for example, that could remove it. But yeah, why is it first 2? Good question. Maybe Vici Gaming see it as a counter to Magnus because of the hard dispel, which, you know, it's definitely very good. But yeah, I also see some potential pitfalls for the hero. Like Omni Knight, sometimes when played as a 5, which will be the case this game for DY, ends up not contributing as much in lane as you would like, and then if you're playing against heroes that just run at you, it can be very difficult to fight back. Like heroes with silences, heroes with burst, heroes with magic damage as well. And I feel like T1 have a pretty good mix of everything. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see Omni. I thought it was a shame if the hero just disappeared entirely off that one nerf.
Yeah, no doubt. As we can see, an early split earth here from Ori in the mid lane. Seeing a lot of Lesh versus Lina, but to refresh everybody's memory, Cinderan, how do you like this matchup for respective sides here?
I think it's slightly Lina favored, but Leshrac is one of the heroes that fares the best. We need to keep in mind Lina wins almost every lane right now, so if you can somewhat break even, that I would consider that almost a win in a way. So Ori should be having an okay time here. Early on, however, Karl is managing to double wave him into the tower, more or less, so should cost some CS there for Ori unless he has a really good last hitting. And Karl even finding denies too, so off to a great start in mid. Ori has had some... For a player that had a reputation at previous TIs of being a stellar laner, this has not been Ori's best event from a laning perspective, and we're seeing here that Karl is just dwarfing him so far in this game, 6-4 against 2-0.
Yeah, still very early, and of course, Ori has bounced back in a lot of these games regardless. Yeah. We'll see how this ends up transpiring for him. But, I mean, you haven't even talked about the lineups yet overall. We see Magnus, again, it seems to be the hero of the tournament, which originally thought it would be Elder Titan. Tiny has had his time in the sun as well, but it seems like Magnus is getting the better of Tiny in a lot of these engagements. We saw in the last series, skewers into Fountain, reminiscing of the old Pudge Hook a little bit there.
Oh, Cuckoo is actually almost killing Poyoyo here.
As we're going to see first blood. All right, old 11.
11 here.
Yeah, taken out by 23 Savage on the position 1 Razor. So picking Razor, again, I mean, obviously in lane against any melee hero is going to be pretty successful, and then late game, it feels like more of a anti-hero or anti-carry against the Ursa, since it is melee as well. As Poyoyo taking so much damage, has to force out the Fairy Fire here just to survive. Yeah. So getting punished pretty early in the laning stage here.
Omni Knight does not fare well in this lane. You're going to be hard-pressed to help your Ursa with anything more than a Purification. The Heavenly Grace can be dispelled by Enchantress, so Cuckoo will have a total free time down here, and that's bad news if you're playing Ursa against a melee hero that you can't even pressure him, but I just don't see it right now for their lane. Maybe with some more levels, But there's like the double whammy even with Enchant, right? You can also purge off Overpower, so
yeah,
gotta be really wise with how you cast your spells for Vici Gaming in that bottom lane. Pressure top again, Zephyr almost getting the Jingu stacks.
Yep, of course, seeing that position for Monkey King, which again, one of the big heroes of the tournament as well. I mean, I guess the biggest difference with him and Magnus is we've seen him position 1, so he has a lot more flexibility. And we've seen mid Magnus before this tournament, not so much in the last month or so, but interested to see like what hero flexibility they'll be going for, because as the tournaments typically progress, it becomes narrower and narrower in scope.
Yeah.
But considering how flexible heroes are now versus even 2 years ago, expecting that to perhaps change a little bit here.
I will say one of the things about Magnus that makes him so incredible is that almost no matter what role you play him in, Horn Toss is just proving to be the shard of the game right now. It is incredible. And honestly, it feels like RP is kind of the luxury at this point.
Yeah, true.
Like, Horn Toss is the real RP. Oh, good damage onto DY, gets the skewer.
Shockwave into skewer, DY, TP's away to safety. Oh, okay, never mind. Impetus, just enough damage there.
He did get sent to safety.
True.
He'll be back to safety.
The fact that he used the TP is very sad for Vici, because he has to do the old walk of shame.
Good old big bad news. Oh my god, Ori is getting owned.
Yeah.
I just realized how bad it is.
9-3 to 24-14.
If you're new to Dota, this is not a slight win. I said it's slightly Lina favored.
Is that a game level win?
That is a very, very stompy performance so far from Karl.
What about the comeback potential from Lesh? Because typically you want to be the one pushing the wave and doing
they might need a
power
here.
Okay, they're going to trade stuns here, but the tomato coming in from afar. And we'll see DY, yeah, forcing back Karl, but doesn't really offer that much or any harassment because he is an Omni Knight after all.
So in terms of Zephyr,
yeah, it's going to get pinned to the tree and brought down. So Vici Gaming getting their first kill of this series.
In terms of comeback potential for the Leshrac, the way you usually get that is by farming some camps in the jungle with Pulse Nova. The problem is Lina has found 14 denies, so Karl is 3/4 of a level ahead, and once he hits level 6, any rotation from Enchantress with a creep, or even without, just with an enchant, should be enough to set up a kill on the Lesh for Lina. Even going to get a bottle refill here brought in from Zephyr.
Yeah, Karl absolutely crushing right now. We'll see if he's able to actually snowball this. I mean, we've seen some great performances in the laning stage, and it kind of tapers up because they don't end up getting that kind of little extra
Poyoyo bottom.
Poyoyo again, getting the shockwave applied. I mean, look at his CS, but he's at 20-2 versus the 22-7 of 23 Savage's Razor. But that is a Razor. He's not really that great of a farmer. I mean, neither are really. As there's the Heavenly Grace applied to Poyoyo.
And Whitemon is going for that rotation mid now, so is pinging out. He wants to go for Lash. He has the boots on Ench.
And the old Wild Wing Ripper.
So Ori knows that this is coming and this rotation from Whitemon will not be successful, but if nothing else, Ori is not farming the wave right now. Karl will get the rune as well. Illusion bottom whenever he wants. And Whitemon gonna start pressuring PYW. Zephyr actually cutting in behind as well.
Yeah, now they gotta clear the trees a bit here. DY showing himself Laguna Blade, and down goes the Omni Knight. Only level 3. So setting himself up there to just get killed right off the bat. But as long as it's not their mid hero, then perhaps they'll be fine with that.
This is still looking really bad for Vici. 2 minutes in, 6 minutes in, sorry, it is 2K.
2K already, yeah.
You're losing
the damage to the tower as well.
6, almost, you're not fully losing it here, but it's going to be pretty damn close, so any move later will get it done. Oh, actually, wait, that's an enchanted creep, not a normal melee creep, so a lot tankier, but they will still hold. Yeah, this is all T1 right now. One of the biggest leads we've seen in the whole tournament, minute 7. Winning all 3 lanes, almost getting mid tower. They have a strong scaling lineup with some of the strongest heroes of the tournament, Magnus and Lina. It is.
Yeah,
we're gonna need
Ori trying to catch up in the jungle here. Nice telekinesis onto Whitemon. Will the Pulse Nova be enough? It looks like it will. Wait, yep. Just in range for that last tick of damage as the Wild Wing Ripper doing some damage in turn. So, the very least for Vici Gaming. Another mid laner starting to get back into the fray of things a bit, but again, it's really about Karl right now. Has only found the, actually it was an assist, he didn't actually get the kill on the Omni Knight.
He gets the mid tower there. LaNm tried to TP in for the deny, but got stunned immediately on arrival, and the creep wave got the tower, so...
Another bottle refill for Karl.
Yep.
He's getting everything that he wants right now.
Absolutely. I mean, he's over 1,000 net worth ahead, or exactly 1,000. No, more than 1,000 ahead.
Just going to provide procs for Zephyr.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you for the Jingu, my friend, as poyoyo. All right, from Vici Gaming's perspective...
Nothing.
Thank you, Cinderin, for the great commentary as always. Like, what's the plan here? Obviously, Blink Dagger is what I would assume you want on old 11, but he has not gotten the greatest of farm this game.
It's still better than Ori's, though. And that's honestly my biggest concern. I know I'm harping on it quite a bit, but Leshrac needs a comeback in this game, so I like the smoke from Vici. Yeah, you gotta get Dagger on Mars. You need some way of setting up fights so you can start snowballing a bit with the lineup you've picked. I think it's more tempo reliant. Whitemon here will break the smoke.
Taking the gank here. As poyoyo trying to get credit for this kill, and he'll do so. No, actually, that went to Ori.
Are 5 heroes down here killing a measly end.
Yep. Oh, wait.
Maybe they get
Mars Arena, Spear, sets it up onto Cuckoo. TP is coming in. Purification doing a lot of damage. RP not going to go off in time. Maybe for the best, honestly, from T1's perspective, that did not go off.
Yeah, I don't think that would have really led to anything good. So... I think you're right about that. They're losing a couple of kills, but keep in mind from an efficiency standpoint, Vici Gaming are not farming 2 lanes for that full minute that they're making moves bottom, whereas Razor and Lina are just going to town on creeps. Karl gonna get what looks to be a 9-minute 30 boots of travel here with the next wave. For comparison, Leshrac sitting on brown boots and 400 gold on the way to a first item Yules he's hovering right now. And you gotta wonder, from Vici again, I understand they make this 5-man rotation bottom because they're a little bit desperate to find fights. Their lineup needs to play fast. I don't know if they can just sit back and farm a Dagger on Mars so that, okay, now we can make a move finally because we have a reliable catch.
You're just gonna be down by even more than 3k
exactly.
at that point.
You drafted in a way that puts you under pressure inherently, and if your lanes go badly, if you play a snowball lineup and you lose all 3 lanes, times are tough, you know? Yeah. I don't think Vici Gaming are gonna win this game.
Not to harp on the Omni Knight pick either, but the fact that you're behind, Omni Knight's not really going to help you get back in most cases.
He helps like sustain, but not set up. Exactly. He doesn't make plays. 11.
Whitemon gonna find old 11 here. Cuckoo with the shockwave. Old 11 might be resigned to his death, but Ori comes in with that Pulse Nova. Doing quite a bit of damage, but the RP does come out. Laguna Blade not enough to kill old 11. Dies shortly after the Boundless Strike onto Ori, now completely out of mana. Shockwave back into the fray. This is going to be a 1-for-1, or 2-for-0, as T1 just continuing their dominance in this early game.
Wait, which one was it? Was it 1-for-1 or 2-for-0?
Depends on... it's a 2-for-0.
Okay. Depends on what?
It's an exchange of 0 for nothing.
What?
I don't know.
0 for nothing.
Cinderin,
pleasure doing business with you.
Just move on, okay?
How does that interaction work? How do you trade nothing with another person?
Well,
is there even
stealing?
a trade?
That's something.
Well, then they have to steal it back, or it's nothing.
Well, you got to figure it out for yourself. Don't get that.
Does not compute.
Yeah, runtime error for Cinderin. It's okay.
That's fine.
Sometimes things don't make sense.
5k lead. Surprisingly enough, good old Statsman Gaben only gives them 62% off this.
Okay.
So does believe in the Vici Gaming comeback in quite a lot of games. This is a monumental lead for a Magnus lineup, minute 10 usually, but maybe it's the potential teamfight prowess of the Radiant lineup once the right items come out that give them a decent amount of win probability here still. So all eyes for me are on Ursa as well as the Mars Dagger. You need to get a good timing on the Omni Knight Heavenly Grace onto the Ursa so that he can go and find kills. He needs the Diffusal Blade that he's working on, still far away though.
Yeah. And
the Mag Dagger to set them up, so... Maybe we see them do a rotation top, however. They are starting to move some heroes up toward that area to begin a siege once
Honestly,
again.
It feels like BKB for T1 is almost a game ender in a lot of ways. There's not much you can do from Vici Gaming's perspective. Good. Like, their big setup is the Mars Arena, because, like, look at Ursa's perspective here. Razor is a terrible matchup late game. Razor is just so fast, he can just walk around and static link you. And Lina's super fast as well. So really, the Mars Arena is the big setup, but once BKBs come online, it's going to be really hard for Vici from a draft perspective. You can see PYW and company in the triangle, trying to get poyoyo back on track. 4th in net worth right now, but top of his team.
I love Rubik Tree Dance. It looks so goofy. I'm sorry. He looks like he wants to jump in his life.
Get a highlight of that one, Cinder.
I can relate to that. I'm not a very athletic person. This is how I would imagine myself tree dancing.
I don't know if that's true. I feel like Clockwork doing that would make more sense for you, but that's just me.
Yeah, that isn't just you.
Maybe not. Karl's got his boots of travel, working on the BKB now. And I mean, you talked about the fact that Empower doesn't necessarily have to be for a melee hero, especially with Lina's attack speed.
Magnus has definitely evolved from a hero now that was picked primarily to empower a melee carry to now being a utility hero with catch, and then the empower is the icing on top, right? Like, you can pick melee range carries like Razor and Lina because empower still gives you the damage, and the main aspect of Magnus for the most part in the mid late game is horn toss as well as, you know, occasional RP. Power not necessary for the hero.
The fact that Empower is more effective on yourself as well allows you to get some of that farm that's needed for the mobility. And smoke comes up from Vici. They were thinking about going for Roche, but have changed their mind here. Poyoyo going to show himself. 23 Savage in the vicinity as well. 23 Savage has the Falcon Blade going for BKB.
He is very tanky.
He has a refresher queued up after BKB. That's pretty fast.
He knows what he wants.
Absolutely.
He's so tanky though. 2k health. Minute 14 on Razor. He has about twice the health of Ursa for comparison. So an exceptionally hard kill for Vici Gaming to get. And if they want that tower, they got to get through this guy. So he's just posturing aggressively up here. Plasma building out the waves, and ultimately Vici Gaming just called the play off. Like, they don't see any potential move right now. It's very concerning. Old 11 at least for them close to the blink now. 300 to go. Maybe that can set something up.
And PYW has his queued up as well, so they're going to have double blink not too far away. And from Poyoyo's perspective, Diffusal Blade still kind of a ways away. Still basically the recipe to go from here.
Yep.
So his farm has not been particularly good. And he's not exactly a farming hero either, because once you get the Diffusal, obviously you can get Roche anytime, but it's all about getting the kills for Ursa.
The good news for Poyoyo is that PYW is stolen power, so at the very least he's gonna...
Oh, that's handy.
He's gonna have a little bit of help here with finishing up side with the blade.
DY's dead.
Oh boy, Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Cuckoo and Karl down the bot lane. They probably will go for this tier 1 bottom. You can see the win probability here. T1 off to an amazing start in today's lower bracket game.
Do you remember that trivia question I asked you?
Oh my god, here we go.
Yesterday or 2 days ago about which hero has the same abilities that they've had the whole time in Dota?
Yes. Oh yeah, we got a lot of tweets about who that actually was.
I believe there's a couple, but from my perspective, there's one hero in this game, I think.
I guess Leshrac.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I think Lina did not always have Fiery Soul,
No, I
but
don't think so.
Apart from that, the kit is very, very similar.
Yeah.
And then it's also about like how do you define what's changed, right? Is Lightning Storm the same ability now that it has a slow? It didn't used to, but like in essence, it's the same hero, which honestly is a testament to some really cool hero design, right? Like a lot of the heroes have been rethought and reworked a little bit and changed skills, but some of the very, very old core heroes are still the same. Leshrac, honestly, one of my favorite hero designs of all time, and it's never been changed. So, very, very cool hero. You would imagine that as Dota develops, a spell like Diabolic Edict would, you know, perhaps get reworked, right?
It did change damage types.
It changed damage type. If you go over damage type changes and everything, I think 0 heroes are the same anymore.
Yeah, most likely.
It is very close to being the same.
Except for the hidden gambler that's in the file, Cinder.
Right. See if I can find another example. Maybe Juggernaut is also the same. Did he always have these spells?
Yeah, Omnislash is... It does a different type of damage now.
Right.
It used to be a set amount every time.
Set amount of hits.
Based off of...
Yeah. Set amount of hits with bonus damage.
It is the same idea, though. No, that's true. Anyway, back to the game. Vici Gaming obviously took Roshan. That's their big advantage. That the one silver lining of this game is they do have Ursa to be able to do that. But what can they do with this Aegis in this time frame while being this behind? They do have the double blink daggers that we alluded to, so Old 11 and PYW. Kind of ready to go here, I would assume.
I think the play call here is you need a blink arena set up with a spear onto ideally Lina, but just BKB, so that one's hard to accomplish. So I guess second best target is Razor. He has BKB, so that's hard to accomplish. So that leaves the third best target to probably be Magnus. But more than anything, I think you need to group your heroes up a little bit if you wanna start taking some buildings. We're 17 minutes in. Leshrac has not taken a tier 1 tower. As a matter of fact, the best one he's got is half in mid. Oh, actually a little bit ahead now bottom, but don't know if they're gonna be able to finish that off. So.
Well, yeah, I mean that mostly comes from the level disadvantage that he had in lane. Just
23 Savage.
PYW. Oh, old 11. I mean, he did force out the BKB, which didn't look like it was actually needed, but still, not the initiation you want if you're a Vici fan.
It's something. At least to force a BKB, right? Like, it's better than sitting back and just letting T1 do whatever they want. As a lineup that is inherently relatively greedy, I think T1 are still super happy with what they managed to accomplish, and all of it really, the majority of what they've managed to do in this game happened in the first 5 minutes, right? It's just been set up for everything, and now Vici Gaming are like, screw it, we're gonna go for a big play. We're gonna bring all 5 heroes top. The Shrek has a bit to go though, old 11.
Yeah, Puppey getting caught out, the spear into the trees, but he's gonna be left to his own devices. Zephyr gets off the Wukong's command in the meantime, just soloing up Poyoyo. Meanwhile, they're going to be able to take out the Mars pretty quickly here, but here comes Ori, almost out of mana. Karl pops a BKB, dodging the glitter as a result. Cuckoo gets off the RP just at the last moment. Ori gets bursted down by the right clicks of his counterpart Karl in that mid lane, and Ursa looks to be next. That's first life down. T1 has only lost Magnus right now. Poyoyo wants to try to take somebody with him to the grave, but the LSA will shut that door. So 3 for 1, T1 advantage again.
If we do get a replay on that, pay attention to where Leshrac is when the fight breaks out. They get the lift, they get the spear, but Ursa's in front of the tier 1 when they spear the Magnus below the tree line, and Leshrac wasn't even there. Like, I'm not sure what Vici Gaming were expecting to accomplish with that move without bringing their main damage dealer. They will get a spear mid now,
Arena. This could be a really good pick for Vici. 23 Savage pops that BKB, and will live as a result. So they force out the second charge.
So essentially Vici Gaming with that push, they opted to go for the tower because Razor didn't have BKB. You're gonna see it here, right? So you get the spear in the bottom, but Ursa's caught in the top area of the map, and Leshrac still wasn't connected yet. They will go on Nightmon in live though.
Yep, and he's healing up quite a bit.
They got his
Is he actually gonna live through this? All right, the spear into the tree again. Stolen plasma field splitter. Goodbye. Takes them a while, but they'll take it.
All right. It is something, but still, no tower. I don't know what the stats are for this tournament for a team that has Leshrac to not have a tower at 20 minutes, but it's got to be... I feel like you never see this. It's just been total domination from T1.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't get the mid tower, which we have seen from
at least get it safely.
Don't get off to a good start, but yeah, the top lane specifically for Vici, typically you see like the trade, right, in a lot of cases, but just not off to that good start that Vici Gaming has been accustomed to in this tournament for the most part.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So from T1's perspective, 23 Savage, obviously he's had that BKB for a while. We'll be going for Halberd, so changes it up a bit. Not going straight for the refresher. But I actually love players that queue up like 10 items ahead of time, just so they don't forget, you know, what item to go for.
Where am I?
Where am I?
Okay, trivia time.
Oh boy.
Is there? No, there's no trivia. That's a bit
No trivia. Will Mars die? Yes. He gets off the arena. I mean, it's still relatively low cooldown,
okay.
So, well.
All right.
It does buy a little bit of time for Vici to make their way here, Cinderman. I know you're really excited to do this trivia. You have to wait. Telekinesis, BKB by Karl. Trying to turn this around now. Zephyr getting way too close.
That was a bit naive, I think. I don't know if he was just making sure to bail Karl out of trouble there by going in. Yeah. If that was the plan, at least it worked. But yeah, maybe he also had no trees to jump on. Look at this tree line in the right-hand side of the map, bottom right. All of it is just gone from the arena of blood.
Yeah, that's
that's just no tree.
That's actually quite nice.
You're supposed
a lot
to
of
do,
deforces. Right? Timbersaw would be really happy about that one.
Yeah. All right, Shannon. It's trivia time.
Okay.
You know my favorite trivia for this tournament so far has been, what is the name of neutral items' passive abilities?
Yeah.
What is it for good old Horsey?
Tumbler toy?
Yeah.
What's the active call?
Yes.
Nay.
That would be a great name.
I know. I think of good names.
Okay, what if I tell you that it's very simple and it's exactly what it does?
Bounce.
Vault.
Vault. Okay.
Vault.
Makes sense with horses as well. See the skewer onto PYW. Okay, he gets one of his own, but only going to delay the inevitable here.
All of Rubik's funny animations are in this game. When he's skewering, he's literally just surfing.
We're just missing a Bat Rider.
It's like he's lagging. It's just like going in a straight line with a thousand
I was a little confused that there might be some lag there, but luckily for us, not to be. And 23 Savage not wanting to give up the first tower.
Up here. Standing there again. All right.
There's the arena. Whitemon stuck inside with the whole Nova from the side as well. Looks like he'll finally go down. Takes a while though. 23 Savage getting up that statically on poyoyo. We see the RP onto 2 from Cuckoo. Shockwave to fall. Beautiful balance strike on the 3. LSA to follow. T1. Unbelievable synergy here. Triple kill for Karl. Old 11, the last remaining member for Vici Gaming, but not for long. Just absolute god tier layering, Cinderin. Whew, that was nice.
Zephyr with the BM Yules as well, just for fun. Maybe he was trying to set up for Savage to get the kill.
And guess what? They defended their tier 1 tower still.
Again.
At 24 minutes, Cinderin. Let's see the replay here.
Okay, so this spear missing, it's not that big of a tragedy. I think, you know, Whitemon dies 2 seconds earlier if it hits, but they can't effectively get anything onto Savage. And as soon as he links up the Ursa this fight, poyoyo has no damage, and that bound was just beautiful, right?
Oh, that was sick.
Wonderful follow-up to Cuckoo.
So absolutely filthy play.
Yep.
See the Guardian Angel come out a little bit too late. Obviously was just stun locked the entire time. But
all DY can do is smile. I first faced Omni Knight, and that's the face of someone who...
I misclicked Omni Knight. LSA onto 23 Savage. Can they burst him down? poyoyo is going to get Yules. And as a result, 23 Savage will live. So good attempt from Vici, but I mean, it seems like Ursa's bane, the bane of his existence, is Yules.
Yeah, it is a great item against him. Also, Yules is one of the only items in the game that doesn't get affected by status resistance.
Didn't used to be the case.
I believe that was indeed not the case at one point, but with it being... It's just a great counter to Enrage. Just Yule him right away, buy yourself the time.
They're coming back in, is T1. Trying to build a 10k lead, all the LaNm just BKB by Karl. poyoyo and company stuck inside the arena, trying to right-click down 23 Savage. Gets off the static link though, and my goodness. Ori just melts every single way as poyoyo looks to be next. And T1 just absolute domination. That's a full team line with the buyback coming out from the Rubik. PYW, all he can do is try to push out these lanes just a little bit. And T1, I mean, Roche won't be up for another minute. It's a little bit unlucky on the timings here.
Yeah.
Because denying that would obviously be big against any Ursa lineup in general.
There will be a chance for Vici Gaming to find a fight there, but again, Vici Gaming haven't won a fight all game. They're trying their best to set something up, but they're just too far behind. Both 23 Savage and Karl are so absurdly tanky. This is a 3k health Razor with 13 armor. Lina has 2.3, BKB Shiva. What damage do you have on Radiant? Like, how do you kill these heroes? I don't know. But what I do know, Shannon, is that I have another trivia question.
God. Hold your horses, Cinder, and PYW's dying. All right, go ahead.
What is the name of the active of Arcane Ring?
Arcane. Oh, I used to know this one actually. Is it a dumb one?
No, it is very much what it does.
Okay, mana refresh.
That's not even correct grammar. Try again.
That doesn't always stop the tool.
It has a verb in it.
Cinderin, why are you
It's
doing
an
this to me?
active.
Are you trying to embarrass me on live Twitch?
I would never do that.
Okay.
Never. It's called replenish mana.
Okay.
So
I mean, refresh mana is not that wrong.
You said mana refresh. Like you were some sort of open sesame, like trying to chant the ring into working.
Well, we already talked about this. English zero language for me. There's the Yule setup. Zephyr picking up the balance strike, and an easy kill for T1 again.
All right, I was wrong.
Well, Ori does buy his BKB before he dies, I believe, so doesn't really lose much gold there.
That's true. That's something. Roche is up here though for T1 if they're so inclined. Their heroes aren't exactly the best for killing Roche. They have a medallion on Ench, which helps, but Razor, with Lina in the fountain, you probably don't have enough damage. Oh, Karl just got himself a Scotty. Wonderful.
Yeah, he is an absolute beast. Look at
his
the It's
GPM.
27 minutes in the game. Look at his items. That is sickening. poyoyo in the mid lane. can see T1 trying to play with him a bit, but
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, you still have to fear the bear. This is a hero that, if given just a little bit of time, can burst anybody down despite being so far down in net worth.
Smoke on smoke action. This is Vici Gaming's last chance in the game. If they lose this fight, they're gonna lose.
Poyoyo smoke gets popped here. Heavenly Grace up fly, going on top of the Enchantress, but they still can't burst him down. Poyoyo has to pop that BKB, gets the enrage off. The RP comes afterward. Poyoyo finally will get one kill, but it's just on the Enchantress. And you see the Wukong's command on the downside. Ursa dies, buys back into the game. Zephyr will be bursted down as well. So it's a 2-for-1 with the buyback onto Ursa. The stolen RP by PYW. Do they have enough damage to actually clean this up? Vici Gaming finally winning a fight. 23 Savage is dead. Triple kill for Ori of all heroes. That is exactly what they needed. And into the Roche pit, Vici goes.
Yeah, so Ursa does have to buy back for that, but that is a huge win for Vici Gaming. And the key part of this whole situation, Kuku's RP on the Ursa, honestly, in my opinion, felt unnecessary. He was fully drained by the Razor. You're going to see the replay here, so watch how Poyoyo goes in. They try to get the Ench burst down, it doesn't work, and here comes 23 Savage with the static link. So Poyoyo's fighting potential is almost non-existent. They RP into the Enrage. He still gets to do a little bit more damage before he ultimately does die to the Laguna Blade, but you gave Rubik that RP by setting it up in this way, and Vici Gaming are going to capitalize on that big time, pulling back about 4K of the lead.
Oh, that was sick.
69% win chance now for T1, down from, what's that, about 90, I think. 91, just a moment ago.
Yeah, and that, again, looking at the net worth for the heroes themselves, you can see that that Karl is so far ahead of everyone.
Honestly, Rubik is going to have another RP if Vici Gaming set this up well. He has a 1-minute cooldown on it. Spell Steal is lasting for another 2.5, I want to say, roughly. So they have a window of opportunity of 90 seconds where their team fight is so much better than it has been for the rest of the game, just with that steal in hand. So it looks like they're very eager to look to squeeze as much out of this as they can, getting their first couple of towers in addition to the mid one now, finally opening up a little bit more space by getting bottom tier 1 and tier 2. Karl will respond by taking top tier 2, however, so it didn't come for free. Yeah, and T1 are rotating down. Does he have travels on Ori? He does not. If this fight breaks out, there's no Lesh Kuku. Smoke behind will seal the lemon. He's scared though, he will blink away.
There's a DD on Ursa as well.
Oh, Zephyr doesn't care.
Yeah.
That was a little bit
jumping
wild.
in and out. They're not going to find anybody, at least not yet.
LaNm gets ready to be here.
Yeah, old LaNm is in quite a bit of trouble. Pops that BKB, gets the spear off as well. Guardian Angel from afar. Poyoyo comes in, trying to burst down the Lina, but Karl pops his BKB, should be able to get out just fine. Kuku and company trying to take out the Ursa in the meantime. You can see the Eye of the Storm, so much minus armor against this Ursa. And he's stuck inside that Wukong's command, and the stolen Wukong from PYW. And Poyoyo looks like he's going to get out just fine, but Lashrak is just getting decimated despite having the BKB. Yields himself to safety, but not for long. Drops as a result. And this is turning into a fight for T1. The skewer back on Poyoyo. And despite having the Aegis earlier, they still lose this fight, Cinderin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they used RP. I'm guessing they did on the Rubik after he
did, right. So what's really crucial in this fight is Zephyr on the Monkey King getting into the backline. So he forced PYW to just RP only the Monkey King, and that makes that fight so much easier. So he RPs and then he steals the Wukong's command, and that just doesn't cut it. They need that RP on the big course that Ursa is hitting. So it's off camera right now. Screen. You see the green marker in the bottom left on the minimap connecting in. Yeah. And just sitting on that Rubik. Back to live though. Karl is getting kind of low here, so maybe T1 can't actually get this tower.
Satanic is on the way though, Cinderin. Don't you worry.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. All 11. Oh, he gets off the BKB. Gets a little bit of space there. A couple more right clicks should do it. Nice heal from DY. So old 11 lives as a result of that.
Stolen
LSA stolen. It's going to connect. Spear onto one. Double rebuke as well. That's going to be 2 cleanup kills for Vici Gaming in their own base.
They really, really wanted old 11 there, but Neck God will escape.
So, yeah, a little bit of gold going the way of Vici there, obviously. But, and we didn't mention, of course, that the shard was picked up from Roche on Poyoyo, so does get the enrage buff every time he earth shocks. But I feel like the story is about Karl, who wait, what did he drop? I thought he had another item on top of this. I mean, he had the wand, I guess.
Bottle. He swapped the wand out.
Okay.
The bottle was in the first
So it has
slot
the DD bottled.
25
Man,
gets
oh
the
man.
attack range talent.
Yeah,
Karl is absolutely beastly in this game, and that's honestly still the story. Like, let's think back to 30 minutes ago and what happened in this game. Dota is a game of snowball, and a lot of the reason Karl is in this position is still what happened in the first 5 minutes. So Vici Gaming honestly very impressed with their ability to stay in this with how grim it was looking. That fight close to Roche really gave them a second life in the game.
It does feel like Rubik is that big wild card in these fights.
He is, for sure. If PYW gets a good RP, you can never count Vici Gaming out in this. Would be a pretty big difference maker if they find some sort of better solution to the Razor life, static draining the Ursa as well.
Wukong's command, Boundless Strike, trying to create some space here.
Okay, that's
Ori being forced out, but there's the Horn Toss back into the Wukong's command, and the right clicks from Karl. But Ori's going to live for now. In fact, going to turn this around completely onto the Magnus. So despite a good setup there from T1,
Old 11 could get on
they lose Cuckoo. There's the Mars Arena 22 Savage has to refresh to get that BKB off, but they're just going to kill Mars in turns. It's a 1-for-1 now. Ori trying to play a lot, as much pressure as possible onto Karl, getting right click down by Poyoyo. Now pops his BKB. Karl just getting stunned like that was a stolen LSA as well. Boundless Strike to follow. Karl has to stand his ground with that Satanic. It's doing a lot of damage, but will finally go down in favor of Vici Gaming, but they do lose Poyoyo. 23 Savage has to stand his ground as well, but it's not going to happen. DY and PYW, the last two remaining members of Vici Gaming, an absolute bloodbath of a fight. It's just the supports left over. The Monkey King is so strong, he gets lifted by PYW. Oh my god, that evil Zephyr! XinQ Mastery for the freaking win! Has the high five to nobody, but well deserved. My god, that was sick.
Can you believe that ended up being 2 supports versus 2 supports?
Dude, epic showdown. I love that.
And then T1 wins it by 2% health on the Monkey King. And then gets off that. He took the XinQ Mastery talent on level 15. I don't know how many levels Zephyr got in that fight. I think he got like 3 or 4 with everything that just happened on that Monkey King. So is approaching a potential level 25 here.
See the
he is
replay
20
here.
Before this final fight. Now
all the cores die. It's just the support battle of a lifetime.
And
God,
I
this was
totally
good.
understand why Vici Gaming thought they could kill him here, right?
No doubt.
They have that crest. I don't want more.
Oh god, that must have felt so good.
Honestly, that is one of the most satisfying spells used in the entire game. Boundless Strike with XinQ is, that is very, very nice.
See the dismay here from Vici is T1 still holding on to a pretty sizable lead, and Vici, off the back of a couple good team fights, have kind of brought themselves back in addition to the 2 Roches. Let's not forget that that probably had some good impact on the game for them. But win probability, I mean, it's not out of reach for Vici. And again, this is only game 1 of this best of 3. Knew this was going to be an absolute bloodbath. Did not know it was going to come down to the supports just tickling each other at the end there. That was great.
Now with things calming down a little bit, Shannon, you know what time it is. It's time for trivia.
Oh, okay. All right.
Are you ready?
Sure. I feel like my percentage on this is like 10.
How old is Karl?
I have no idea.
Same.
Okay.
It would be impressive.
So that
if
was
you
the
knew.
right answer then.
Yeah, good. You get,
I just
you
have
get
to
a
match
point.
you.
You get a point.
Thank
the
you.
correct answer is what I think. Yes.
Even if it's incorrect.
Very good. I'm not sure how old Karl is, but older than I'm sure he's in trouble.
Smoke.
Okay. Got out
Yeah,
pretty quickly there.
Midfield for a little bit of vision there, and they're not going to run into anybody. Vici very, very careful right now.
Effectively did break the smoke, so nice job there from Old 11, and they back off. And like I said before, I kind of can't believe that Vici Gaming are still playing here. Not in the sense that they should have given up, but in the sense that how on earth are they still in the game? But
yeah,
super impressive stuff from them. Still massively a T1 favorite game.
I should mention, of course,
good
23 Savage, in addition to the Refresher, has an Ags and his 25 talent, so that's 3 Eye of the Storm procs.
Yeah.
And then Refresher on top of that, so...
But also important to note is that a huge portion of T1's damage is physical, right? It's Lina right clicks, it's Razor's Eye of the Storm like you pointed out. You have Guardian Angel, Solar Crest, Leshrac is finally getting a Shiva's Guard now. You have Satanic on Ursa. There is the potential for T1 that you run into damage issues actually.
Zephyr does have Nullifier.
Well,
so
okay.
Guardian Angel
That'll
and Heavenly Grace. Goodbye.
Oh, it's also tier 4 neutral items time. Let's see if anybody gets the Fabled. The Fabled,
Which
what was
vein?
it called again? That
Which
was what
vein?
it was called.
Yeah, if they can get that, that's another dispel for Guardian Angel and
Telescope for Karl.
Let's just say it's a
very good
dispel against Omni Knight as a whole. That's pretty much pretty accurate, I feel.
We're going to put Telescope on for the Dire. You probably put it on Whitemon, right? You just want that attack range and spellcasting range for the team, and Lina doesn't want to give up the Titan Sliver.
Oh, now refresh. Oh, Axe. Wow. All right, we're seeing some items here. So Old 11's going to have double BKB, double Mars Arena, and all that good stuff. And DY gets Aghanim Scepter. So Global Guardian Angel and
10-second duration.
And works on buildings, lasts longer. I was not expecting that one, not going to lie. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, that refresh on Old 11 can make a huge difference. He has a very good chance of surviving. If he blinks in Arena's BKBs and gets GA'd, he can't die, right? Because they can't nullify him during BKB. So I have no real way of killing this. Okay.
Oh, Whitemon might run into Poyoyo here with the preemptive Heavenly Grace. Roche is not up.
T-warding.
Yeah, just pivoting across from each other. They both have idea of where they are.
I don't know. I'm starting to question how far T1 are actually ahead right now.
It's starting to go down here, no doubt.
It is just concerning that the Vici Gaming cores went from being easy kills to now all being exceptionally tanky, and then you add GA on top of it that can't fail to go off. All they need to do is pop their BKB in the meantime.
You know what I'm talking about?
Effectively, I think T1's strategy needs to be changed to a little bit more of a weaving nature rather than just a hard commit. They will maybe catch some picks here mid though. Old 11 will blink away. Invis. And back off.
Good to go. All right, so a little bit of downtime here. You know what that means, Cinder? Just kidding.
Hey, why don't you ask me something?
Number 3 being attempted now by T1. That's going to be the refresher shard, so no Ags this time around. As we might see a connection here. Poyoyo is going to be spotted by the plasma field of 23 Savage. And Roshan getting close to half HP. This is a fight I feel like Vici has to take. They're going to scan, so they know that this is being attempted right now. Old 11 jumps in with the first Arena. BKB by Karl. He just walks out to safety. Old 11 procs his passive now. 23 Savage. Gets up the plasma heal. There's the refresher for Old 11. Able to blink to save the Yo-Yo. Getting kited on the backline right now. And you see Kuku boundless strike into RP. T1. That's way of his fight, but that's the buyback onto the Rubik. Ori inside. This Wukong's command just getting kited with that nullifier. Easy kill goes the way of T1 again, and DY. Basically the last remaining member. There is a buyback from Rubik, but ultra kill from Karl into second Roach, I would assume. And T1 might have just won the game off of this fight alone.
Vici Gaming, I am so sorry for believing in you. The moment I said you had a good shot, you get absolutely crushed and get no kills in the fight.
It's okay.
I got run over. Feeling a little bit like Kyle here. Oh man, that was
I don't think he got
fight from T1.
Yeah, he didn't get off the second Arena. I'm not sure if that would have made a difference.
Right, so
honestly,
first of all, he doesn't get off the second Arena, and I think they didn't layer their Guardian Angel with the BKBs too well. And there was nothing, like, there's no clear target for Vici Gaming in that fight that they were able to get on top of. They just kept being, you know, kited around. Some insane boundless strike cast there.
Yeah, into the throne.
Oh my god.
They know that these buybacks are likely not here. It's going to be a tier 4 tower, and you can see 23 Savage. Yeah, GG's called. So T1 take game 1, and I mean, they get off to an amazing start, but you got to give Vici credit for making some sort of a comeback when we didn't really see much avenue for it, but they played really well despite not having the laning stage advantage.
Still